Welcome back. You already know what happened. I already know what happened. Let's get into it.
Yeah, man. All the way from Saturday morning, where we're starting out. 7:30 in the U.S. day. Liverpool, Manchester City kickoff in a thrilling 1-1 game. It was absolutely mesmeric. All the way to Wolves' 3-2 win over Fulham on Monday. All the results right here. As you can see, they're scrolling by. Crazy games. Big goals. Wow.
Like Tanner said, a lot of good games this week. We saw Luton get their second win of the season, getting them out of the relegation zone. Newcastle smacking Chelsea 4-1. Who'd have thought after last week's result against City?
Chelsea back to where they were.
We saw Arsenal win, unfortunately, 1-0. Continue to be at the top of the table. Well, 1 and 2. Continue to keep that race.
It's going to be tight, and especially because Spurs losing to Aston Villa on Sunday 2-1.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The Spurs are lacking a little bit the last few games. I think they've had some injuries here and there, but still.
Couple of issues for them, but also a couple of issues for United that we were able to sweep under the rug for at least one game, getting a big 3-0 win over Everton.
Ooh. Getting straight into it, the game, maybe not the game of the week, but in terms of importance, this was a huge game. Bright and early, 7:30. Liverpool fans complaining about it. I mean, come on. Who cares what time it is? Get over it. Everybody has the same, format. Everybody plays the same times. It's how it is, okay? And Liverpool fans, I heard, they think they play a little bit early, but they got some sponsors who want to see y'all play in Japan, so you got to make that money somehow. Anyways, 1-1. Erling Haaland in Manchester City in this first half. Boom. Amazing. This team looked so dominant. Liverpool were nowhere to be seen the first half. Yeah. Erling Haaland, really good goal. Alisson, abysmal day.
Blunder after blunder, man.
It was ridiculous, this guy. Yeah. Jeremy Doku, absolutely rinsing Alexander-Arnold left and right. Got dribbled past 7 times, this man. He gets the man of the match. He scores a goal, and he wants... but we'll get into that later. First half, though, still. Erling Haaland scores. Dominant first half, like I said. It was an amazing half of football for Manchester City. We go into the second half, and things change. Liverpool starts to get some swagger. We're still dominating. We had chances that we should have been putting away, especially of how many times, like I said, that Alisson did mess up and have these little mistakes.
Oh, yeah, there were plenty of times where he kicks the ball out and it's just over Van Dijk, or it's just not quite to their midfield. And it's just, he just had quite a few mistakes, which is not like him. All bias aside, he probably has been the best goalie in the world for the last 2 years. He's a
really good goalie.
Amazing goalie that anybody would like to have, but for whatever reason, just absolutely abysmal with this distribution in particular that night.
We did see him go down for a short moment, and apparently, as we're recording today, he might have a small knock and might be out, is what we're hearing. So it's interesting to see. Maybe that could have played a small part in... Maybe he just wasn't feeling it that day or something. Maybe he was already injured. Could have been a case. You never know. But still, he was out there and he was not playing near as what we expect him to play. But Manchester City should have been putting those chances away in the first half especially. Second half moving on. A little bit more back and forth. And then Trent Alexander-Arnold proceeds to step up from outside the box. Puts a P-roller into the bottom left. Man wants to go and shush the crowd. This kid is such a fucking bum. Got dribbled past 7 times. Got made to look like an idiot as a defender. You are a defender who cannot defend. Got dribbled past 7 times by Jeremy Doku. Yes, you scored a nice goal. Yes, you are a decent player. But you can't even get on the England squad. Then England is abysmal. Okay, so who are you shushing? Okay, have some respect.
I mean, I gotta really just quickly say, if you've watched this channel or just a soccer fan in general, as a United fan, it absolutely pains me to say that Liverpool did well or that specific players performed well. Defensively, we know. He's not there defensively.
He's not that guy.
In terms of the best right backs in the world.
Got dribbled past 7 times, tied for most in this season.
But only one of those people that you just mentioned scored. Doku didn't score. Yes, he had a good game. Yes, he had great passes and a couple opportunities
Not all about
created,
goals.
but one of them scored and the other one didn't. There's only there's only 2 goals scored, and Doku didn't get one. So I can't see why City fans have been trashing Alexander-Arnold, who scored to tie the game and shushed the crowd. And
Bro did nothing the whole game. He stepped up and he did get a goal. He did
in the moment that his team needed him, he stepped up.
He did nothing the whole game. Man has done nothing the whole season.
I mean, he really is.
Have some respect.
He's the definition of a moments player. He pops up in those moments. You can think back as early as Liverpool versus Barcelona in the Champions League, the quick corner. The guy just has whatever ability in him to score in those big moments.
Name me one moment for England.
What he did.
Name me one moment.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Name me any moment.
We're done.
For
I already cut it there.
You're a bitch.
It's already cut. It's already done.
Quite the role reversal we got going on. Like Tanner said, draw for them. Surprise, surprise, United won. Getting the 3 points against an absolutely incredible atmosphere at Goodison. These guys brought their A game.
Brought that
until
red
the
little
second minute.
Brought that little pink thing out.
The Premier League deducts them 10 points. You already know by now. They're in the relegation battle. They're kind of lucky that they got it this early on in the season, or else they may have been screwed later on. But they are in the relegation battle now. They are up for this game. They are pissed off. They're so against everything that has happened, and they're wanting to make sure that other teams face similar actions. So they wanted to show the Premier League is corrupt. And that's what they did. They got out there and they let their voices be known until the second minute, when the greatest goal that I've ever seen was scored by Mr. Alejandro Garnacho.
It was absolutely insane, this goal. This man, it was probably it's up there with it's tied for me with Bale in the Champions League final. Like, watching that
the moment too.
The moment probably takes it above it.
Yeah, you got me.
But
there.
if you're going straight off of just the pure goal
in the
ability,
eye test,
it's
just
like
the
they were so both. It's right there with it. This goal was insane. Garnacho. Oh my goodness, this kid, he's not even that good though. Like, he's really not that good, but he just pulled one out of the bag. So.
Scored again today. But regardless of what Tanner thinks, United do go on to win 3-0, papered over the cracks for a game. Good performance. Not a great performance. A lot of people got carried away saying, okay, this was a great performance. We got to kickstart it going. And I do agree we needed that result, but the performance was not what we needed. Some decent goalkeeping, some decent defending, got the clean sheet, which, we haven't had many this year, so I got to take them where they come. But overall, not a great performance, but a great result.
Yeah. Tuesday results, Champions League now. It's Champions League time. Champions League results from Tuesday.
Not for much longer.
The good, the bad, the ugly. We're still in the group stage.
Some of us.
Yeah. We are about to be on the final day, next Champions League week. This was a very important week for so many teams. Milan losing 3-1 to Dortmund. They needed a big win for more survival. They were hoping. Didn't get it though. Newcastle, PSG. What drama. VAR drama. It's lovely to see. What Liveramento? Was it a handball? Was it a handball, Trevin? Opinion. Come on, hot takes.
I don't think so.
He doesn't think so.
There was also other missed handballs, other missed penalties. There was so much in that game.
It was a lot. Porto, Barcelona with some banging goals.
No. João
Cancelo
with some banging ass.
Yeah. This kid, he's doing pretty well to his Barcelona start. I think he's not the world beater yet, but he's having a very good start.
I wonder why Pep doesn't want him.
Also Tuesday, Manchester City 3-2 over Leipzig. The comeback at home. We shouldn't have been down 2-0. We start from the beginning though, as we do. Lineup looked good. Phil Foden, man of the match. Great performance. Second half. We start from the beginning, as I said. Openda. Manchester City's defense, for some reason, was like the Red Sea. And who's it? Moses or Noah? Moses separated that shit. Okay, it was insane. Okay, and then the second goal, Openda is he's getting tracked back by Gavardio, former Leipzig player, as we all know, who was in the suffering of that like 5 or 6-0 defeat last season. Anyway, he didn't even try. It seemed like it. Like, I understand it's 1-on-1, and you were running back. Maybe you could say he really didn't have a chance at all, but it just seemed like he didn't even try to make it seem like he had a chance. I wanted more. Okay, they score the second goal. Pep fuming, as you expect. We go into halftime.
He lets him know.
Yeah, oh yeah, he had to have. Changes are made. Ruben Diaz comes off. I'm thinking it's more so of an injury.
Like a precaution.
Ruben Diaz, he has not been bad, but he has not been up to par as we expect him to be this season. For the past, I'd say, at least 5 or 6 games, he hasn't played as well as we expect. He's giving away some pens, fouling people, things like that.
I think that's a case you could say for a lot of the City players, that they just haven't hit that peak form that we're so used to them playing. But in the same respect, they're continuing to fucking win.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I don't understand it.
Exactly, and that's the awesome thing about it, having 115 charges. That you just keep winning. You just keep winning. It doesn't matter how many charges you have. So even when we aren't playing as well as you'd expect, the team is still able to make a win happen. We come back in the second half, like I said, some very, very good play. Erling Haaland, Julian Alvarez, Phil Foden. Phil Foden with the man of the match. He deserved it. Erling Haaland, I think, fastest to some amount of goals, 40 goals in the Champions League, 50 goals, something like that. So, one of those numbers, fastest to it, youngest to it, impressive. He's insane. What more can you say about this kid? Phil Foden, though, man of the match. Second half, I want to say it's a well-deserved win. We turned up in the second half. We had to. Losing 2-0 at home at halftime, unacceptable. That's insane. Can't be happening, especially with a 115 charge team. It's not okay. So I'm glad we turned it around. 3-2 in the end. We're top of the group, as you would expect. We're gonna go through and maybe go win another Champions League.
Moving on to Wednesday. All your results. Best day of the week turned into the worst day. Let's start from the beginning, as we always do. United, 12:45 here in the USA. Got to watch it at work. Got to do what I got to do. Didn't love what I saw. Moving on, though, Bayern, 0-0 to Copenhagen. Not something I would have expected, definitely.
In Bayern, too, I believe. In Munich.
In the Allianz. Wild result. We saw Pepe scoring the game winner for PSV over Sevilla.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we don't even have to say it, but we love to see it.
Yes, sir.
Arsenal, unfortunately, winning 6-0 over Lens.
They absolutely battered them. 6 different goal scorers. Every defense of Lens was absolutely abysmal.
Real Madrid also picking up the 3 points over Napoli. We hate to see that. 4-2 over them, but continue to dominate.
They had a kid score his first goal for the club. It's nice to see for that. It was 2-2 for a while, and then he scores that goal. Blunder goalkeeping from Napoli goalkeeper Merit. And then they go and score a fourth. It's sealed. It's done game.
Probably the most entertaining game of the week to wrap it all up. Benfica, Inter Milan.
Wow.
Just a crazy game.
João Mario with his first career hat trick against his former club, Inter Milan, in the Champions League. He scores a first half hat trick. You're thinking, wow.
Done and dusted.
Dusted. Second half comes. Inter say no. Inter bring on some subs. Some changes happen. They slowly start coming back. Score a goal. It's 3-2. Offside goals get called back. Penalties. Things like that. 72nd minute, Alexis Sanchez steps up at the penalty spot. Puts it away. Makes it 3-3. That's insane. It was an insane game all the way through.
And the moment you've all been waiting for. We go to United, Galatasaray, in Turkey. Absolutely another buzzing environment. Start from the beginning, as we always do. I forgot to shout out Kobe Mainoo in the first part of the video when we were talking about United versus Everton, because the guy is just composed. That's the one word that I can use about him. Shout out. Had a good 20-ish minutes in the end of the game, but neither here nor there. United go into this game. Mainoo's not starting. I don't like that. Amrabat's in. I'm a big fan of Amrabat. But he's just not good enough right now. He doesn't have it in the tank. Gets taken off in the 70th minute. I don't know what it is about him. He just doesn't have it in him right now. McTominay also starts, gets a goal, but I didn't love that he started. But at this point in the season, who else can we use? These guys can't get a consistent rotation. The first goal we get is just a really, really nice goal from Garnacho. Like I said the last little bit, Garnacho scored the wonder goal, but this one, really good goal as well. Like, not anywhere near as good as the other one, but still a quality goal. Mm-hmm. And we go up 1-0, and we continue that momentum with an absolute peach
banger
of a strike from Bruno.
Banger.
Captain's goal when you needed it. To continue the
march.
Thank
charge.
You. To continue the press towards the 3 points. We had to have it today. And then we see just absolute horrible defending and bad goalkeeping. I can't blame that whole first goal on Onana, because the key part in that first goal is the ball went through the wall. How, as a defending wall, do you let that ball go right in between you? Obviously, Onana has had some problems in the past with his positioning and some of his handling, but you don't put him in that situation. That goal is on the wall. I don't understand how you let that go through.
Zeke is a class free kick taker, though.
He is.
You also got to give him that.
Yes, I will give him his props. He is a good striker of the ball, especially when it's any kind of dead ball, a corner, a free kick, anything like that. He's the man for it. And we didn't take advantage, or we let him take advantage of it. Got through the wall, 2-1, and I could just feel it. I could just feel the rage build up inside my body, thinking, I swear to God, if we let this go and we let them win or we draw, I'm going to be so furious. But then, just 20 minutes later, Scott McTominay, good goal. Like, not as good as the other ones, but a good goal, good quality finish. And then in my head, and I'm saying, it's over. We're good.
3-1.
We got it.
3-1.
We got it. But then once again, this one, you definitely got to blame Onana on this one.
We got it.
Hits his hands. Obviously, the conditions aren't good. But you gotta keep hold of that, dude. Like, I can't defend you from that. Terrible goalkeeping. And then at that moment, the Galatasaray fans are going nuts.
Berserk.
Going absolute crazy in it. Like, they're doing everything that they can to get their team back into it, and they do, with eventual third goal for them, tying up 3-3.
It's United, you know, like, what about, you know, it's
what about 2-0
leads
don't we like?
We're up 3-1, you know, United, and then you just fall apart. It's the occasion. Is it the Champions League? Like, yeah, people are saying, you know, United doing okay in the Premier League. Like, people like to point out Ten Hag's point tally total or whatever, even though they play like shit. But he's got the points or whatever. Anyway, he's got the points. That's props to him. But now they're in the Champions League, though. Even against teams, you would expect them to be not dog walking, because Galatasaray has a good squad. But they should be beating those teams. They are not.
I mean, when you score 9 away goals, when you consider the environments that you go into, because make no mistake, every single team that United plays gets up for it for away games. This is one of the oppositions, no matter who it is, one of their biggest games of the year. We get drawn in the same group as somebody, and they have that marked on the calendar, because they know that if they can get up for this, it will rattle our cages. And that's exactly what these Galatasaray fans did. It's exactly what the Copenhagen fans did. And obviously we know Bayern's Bayern. So to have the mentality that we have is absolute piss poor. And I can't take it anymore.
And now it all comes down to the final week. And I don't even think it's in their hands.
It is not. Because it's in nobody's hands. Because we can't get through.
It's impossible?
We cannot advance through the group stage.
Ooh.
Because Bayern Munich did not beat Copenhagen today, they drew 0-0. No matter what happens, United are out of the Champions League.
Ooh.
And honestly, I fucking hate the Europa League.
Is there any chance Europa League?
If we beat Bayern, we can get the Europa League.
But if you don't win, it's over.
But if we don't win, it's over.
So, what are we thinking? Europa League or fuck the Champions League, focus on the Prem?
I mean, You know, and I know, as soon as United enters that, it is now the A competition. But at the same time,
we're gonna have to talk about Europa League.
I hate it.
I don't want to talk about Europa League every day.
I hate playing on Thursdays and Sundays. It just ruins my week. But that's my own personal belief on that scheduling, though. But at this point,
all right. That's everything. That's the good, the bad, the ugly, the City, the United.
Fucking terrible.
It's the Champions League, baby, and United are out of it. It's the Premier League, baby, and United aren't going to get top 4. Oh, man. Maybe they will. Probably not, though.
They will.